Guys, what's up? My name's Zwordz, and today I'm going to share some World's Edge rank tips that should help you make better rotations, plays, and give you an overall map understanding of World's Edge if you're unfamiliar with the map and how it plays. I'm going to go over multiple things that should help you whether you play solo or with a team. World's Edge is probably the most competitive map in Apex Legends. There are a variety of choke points surrounding the map, massive spaces with verticality, and opportunity for all styles of play. I want to share with you the tips you need to rank up and make ranked a little easier for you. So please like and subscribe if you want more rank tip videos or informational content to help Apex players improve at the game and be their best. All of you watching this video are players that want to improve, and it's you that I'm making videos like this for. Please stop by my streams on Twitch. I want to chat with more of y'all and learn about how you play Apex. Now let's talk about them Apex tips. World's Edge is a pretty big map, and you'll notice that fights might take a bit longer, or that there's a surplus of loot around the various POIs compared to Kings Canyon or Olympus. Take a look at this map with me, and look at the highlighted circles around the map. Each of these circles represents a choke point around the map of World's Edge. You'll see that there are a variety of choke points around the map, most noticeably around Fragment and Epicenter, Skyhook, but all around the map respectively. It's important to know about choke points because these are areas where you're more likely to engage with other teams, which can be a good or a bad thing. At these locations, teams are usually rotating to another position, and you'll most often see teams at these locations when the ring is closing, which is why rotating is slower on World's Edge. Well, at least most of the time. Since the map is so big, the time it takes to reach and travel through these choke points to reach your desired position takes longer. With the lack of tridents and jump towers around the map, most of the time you're going to be on foot running to each location. Movement characters like Octane, Valkyrie, and Pathfinder better help speed this up and get you to where you need to be. Defensive abilities from characters like Gibraltar, Bangalore, or Caustic can also provide crowd control abilities that can help your team stay more secure in open areas with little cover. Be sure to constantly check your angles and watch those high points for enemy players because that will be when you're most vulnerable on World's Edge. Which reminds me, cover is everything. There are a variety of buildings surrounding World's Edge, and doors are going to be your best friend in these type of fights. Door play is a major mechanic for breaching or defending entry into a building. While you're blocking a door, a common tactic for the enemy is to wait behind the door while their teammate flanks around and comes to attack you from behind. Look out for that. Maybe throw a grenade at your feet and find another way out. Remember that for next time. You can also throw a grenade on the other side of the door if you aim at the corner of the door and the arc reticle disappears. If you end up inside a building while there's multiple teams outside, your best options usually come down to holding down your building or finding a means of escape. It's better to save and minimize the amount of resources you expend in a fight rather than using them all to try to take everyone down. Outside of buildings, cover is everywhere, though its usefulness varies. It's better to use the tops of hills or structures to take control of advantageous positions to prevent your enemies from using them on you. But at the end of the day, use what you can to your advantage or even against your opponents aggressively. Fighting too long will get you third-partied. You want your fights to be relatively quick. If they begin to take too long, expect a third party, maybe think about leaving and going somewhere else, or making preparations to take on two teams. But you should keep this in the back of your mind. Remove the element of surprise entirely and expect another team during those long fights. Patience is key. Sometimes it's best not to fight. You don't always have to be on the move. The goal is to win. It's true you feel that you want to get as much points as possible, but sometimes if you have enough loot and a good position in the next zone, waiting out until the next round isn't always such a bad idea. The key to this map is all about who has the best position. This is why a character like Crypto isn't such a bad idea. Rather, this is probably his best map because of the positioning and space he has to take advantage of the time he's sitting on to gather information. Paying attention to the ring is important. And at the end of the day, it's much better to already be in a good position before that ring closes and the next round starts. Seriously, you'll find yourself winning more games when you see teams running towards you and you're already in a good spot. If you want to end up with good loot at the beginning of your match so that you're already battle ready for your first fight, drop late or drop far. Just do it. Land somewhere nobody is going so you can get all the loot. Then when you run into a team, you'll be better prepared to take them on. The good thing about World's Edge is that POIs are a relatively decent distance away from each other, giving you time to spot a team in case they're moving within proximity of your squad. Fighting early without guarantee of finding a weapon just isn't the wave, and you should try to avoid those engagements if you can. The goal is to avoid RP loss. This next tip is going to be a little controversial, but gold body's just better. Unless you're actually slaying and able to consistently wipe teams in your ranked games, The gold body is going to be better for those longer intense and high elo ranked matches. Right now, burst damage is very strong in this current meta. We're seeing weapons like the bow, sentinel, or spitfire deal massive damage and crack shields very quickly. With a gold body, 2 simple shield cells are going to get your shields back up quick, while you need a whole battery to get up a red body, and that's if you even have enough. In the long run, you'll get back in the fight quicker with a gold body. Players are going to get a lot of range on you in the endgame, and you need to be prepared for that. Faster healing leads to a faster recovery. If you've got a Loba on your team, try to get her to steal a gold body from a loot vault to prevent other teams from getting it. It's better in your hands than theirs. Trust me. There's also other useful items in these loot vaults, so if you find a key, it's safe to hold on to them until you manage to open a vault. You just may be rewarded with some nice loot. Did you know that World's Edge has the best hiding spots? I'll show you a couple now, but there are some pretty useful spots all around the map that can help you rotate or briefly hide from enemies. Be a little creative, because when your team dies and it's impossible to recover their banners or respawn them, you may have to rat away and avoid teams so that you can avoid losing RP altogether. There are a lot of places you can climb to and places people don't even check, so keep that in mind. As a suggestion, I would personally avoid landing at certain locations that offer little loot. The biggest example of that is Train Yard. I'm sure many of you can agree with me, but whenever I drop a Train Yard, I either never find a gun, or end up running into other players and I at least lose a teammate by that situation. I also notice the same thing at Trials occasionally, usually getting third party by a team at Skyhook. Personally, I don't recommend landing at these spots, but that's just my opinion. Most other locations are fine in loot on World's Edge. What are your favorite spots? What are your least favorite spots? Let me know in the comments below. Taking jump towers isn't always the best idea. In higher elo lobbies, your skydive trail makes it extremely easy for teams to track and find you. Plus, there's a possibility of you accidentally landing on a team and getting directly beamed if there's not a Valkyrie on your team. So unless you want to be found or you have no choice to take the jump tower to get out of a bad situation, most of the time it's better to run to your desired position and take advantage of your movement skills to reach them. Mid-range fights are going to happen often, so you want to make sure you have the accuracy skills ready to deal enough damage to a player medium distance away. I suggest carrying weapons like the R301, Spitfire, Volt SMG, Flatline, or even the Havoc now. ARs are kings on this map, but if you're that accurate, you can even try rocking a sniper. But really, ARs are very consistent weapons right now in the current state of the game. You got this, my dude, alright? Keep your head up and keep pushing forward. Show these players what you got, whether you got the most kills on your team or the least amount. Just make sure you're always doing something for the team and learn from your mistakes. Break through any challenges you face in ranked by learning through your experiences so you can climb high. And also, please follow my Twitter. I'm trying to grow on that platform so that one day I can become an Apex partner and bring y'all more helpful content before anyone else. Thanks for watching. Take it easy and peace out.